This video is brought to you by Gamersubs. Use code MHB at checkout for 10% off your next order. The level of hype and excitement coursing through my body at the thought of reliving the glory of Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 in a matter of days is immense. So I thought for today's video it's about time we revisit another Star Wars game released on the same consoles but never quite got that same love and attention. It's time we jump into the Clone Wars with Delta Squad and earn the Platinum Trophy in Star Wars Republic Commando. Republic Commando released back in 2005 for Windows and Xbox consoles, and this game blew my 8-year-old mind. A first-person squad-based shooter that had us take control of a clone squadron and blast our way through droid scum, it was awesome. Even if I do remember it kicking my ass as a youngling. I've always held Republic Commando in high regard as a top tier Star Wars game, and I figured it was about time I check just how true that is whilst grabbing another oh so sweet Platinum Trophy. Speaking of which, that task isn't too difficult according to PSN profiles, scoring a 3 out of 10 in terms of difficulty and should take about 15 hours to complete. Really, the only trophy that'll cause us much grief is Marshal Commander, which is unlocked by beating the game on the hardest difficulty, which sounds more daunting than it really is. As always, if you do end up enjoying the content, be sure to leave the video a like, comment below some more platinums you'd like to see me tackle next, subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, and go over to twitch.tv/MayorHairBear if you want to see some of these platinum journeys live. Now, it's been a while since I've gone in with this approach, but our goal with Republic Commando was to snag that Platinum Trophy as the credits roll. No cleanup required. Again, the big bad trophy of Republic Commando is Marshal Commander for beating the game on hard, so right before we start a new game, we need to make sure to change the difficulty so we can get this all done in a single playthrough. We will need to keep in mind some missable trophies as we go along, but outside of that, this journey is mainly going to be about clanging and banging our way from point A to B with the boys. So we begin a new game, get a short previously on montage about Delta Squad's upbringing on Commando, and all this leads to the squad in Boss, the player character, Scorch, Fixer, and Sev being deployed for the Battle of Geonosis, and away we go. There are 3 acts in Republic Commando, each set on a different planet or starship. First is Geonosis, then the RAS Prosecutor, and the final act is set on Kashyyyk. Each act has the squad completing multiple objectives and progressing further and further into enemy territory to do what so many fallen clone troopers failed before. Now, Geonosis is an action-packed planet for us, as I wanted to knock out as many miscellaneous trophies as fast as possible, so that all I needed to worry about later on was, well, staying alive in the harder sections. And with this in mind, I managed to unlock 21 out of the 32 trophies by the time we completed our first act. Once we arrive on Geonosis, we need to regroup with Delta Squad first, and along the way snagging a quick trophy for knocking a droid's head off with our melee attack. There we go, watch your head, first trophy, before meeting up with our first squad mate, Scorch. Delta 6-2. With Scorch, we now have access to our command wheel, so I quickly grabbed another 2 trophies for issuing a command only to cancel it immediately. There we go. Sir, please make up your mind. We are smashing through these trophies already. And issuing every command a single time. And Delta Squad forming up. Just a short walk down the hall, we meet up with Fixer and slice our first of many consoles. We need a slicer, a good slicer. And since Geonosis has a boatload of explosive barrels, already managed to blow up our 10th one. Consistently explosive, I think that's for 10 explosive barrels, so we've done that already. Once we find our final squad mate Sev, we progress through a bit further, complete one of our objectives. Never saw it coming. Snipe down the ship on Geonosis. And go further into the Wasp's Nest. The Geonosians' nests are where we're looking to knock out the trophy, We Got a Nest here, which is for destroying all eggs before they hatch. All we need to do is basically send our squad mates away and tackle this nest solo and shoot the eggs from a distance. This is made a lot more difficult when shooting the eggs doesn't kill what's inside them, meaning we are losing ammo quickly and going down a whole lot as well. But luckily for us, these close encounters just so happen to coincide with wiping that bug juice off our visor 10 times and requesting our first of many many revives. Squeaky clean. Visor clean 10 times. Hold on to your guts while I rip out theirs. That's for requesting a good old revive. But after some time, we finally destroyed every egg for the trophy, and I was finally able to regroup with my squad to continue on with the mission. We got a nesty! Alright, that's the trophy for not letting any of those silly nests hatch. The Geonosians finally got the better of one of my squad mates, allowing me to revive them. There we go, lack of Bacta. And since I went down so many times already, I figured I may as well knock out the trophy for going down 10 times in one mission for good measure. Basically just get down 10 times between loading screens. That's a mission. Can you die later, sir? It just isn't a good time now. Fucking hell, I've already gotten 12 trophies? What? I love this shit. As we slogged our way through this desert hell, blowing up more doors. Was it red, red, green, or red, green, red? Alright, well, that is really an unmissable trophy. We're not even finished with Geonosis. Hopping in a gunship turret to make our lives a lot easier. Turret shield assault. Okay, I thought this was one you, like, ripped off. You do the old Master Chief, rip the fucking turret off. Still cool, though. Poorly throwing a grenade to end our suffering early. There we go, friendliest fire. I was like, I feel like there's a one for ending yourself. All the way to throwing a dime of a thermal detonator to kill 5 enemies at once. There we go, he's holding a thermal detonator. Alright, cool. So that's another one of the miscellaneous trophies done. We were getting better and better gear to help us take out the enemies, which were only getting more and more difficult. Maximize potential. There's 2 weapon attachments? Alright. We managed to infiltrate the droid factory. Shoot the big red spot. Painfully tried to drop a drop pod on 4 enemies at once. What are you on? How? This trophy's giving me some grief for no reason. It's if the droidicas weren't here, I wouldn't have so much grief. There we go, guerrilla warfare. Holy crap, that was a glitchy ass trophy. Played Ring Around the Rosie with an enemy spawner we weren't destroying to snag our 100th melee kill. Oh really, if I can smash out as much as I can on Geonosis, the rest of this platinum is a piece of piss. Close and personal, what's that, 100? Beautiful. And finally, Geonosis was complete. This planet is rotten from the inside out. We have 51% of the trophies after the first act. Now granted, I think there's only 3 acts, but still, that's crazy. Now we were on to the Prosecutor, which trophy-wise mostly had us looking for collectibles, after of course allowing a scavenger droid to attach itself to us so that we can fend it off. Get out of here. I really hate those scavs. This is a pretty boring level to describe as there's not too many different locales here, and instead it's a lot of corridor-based ambushes, which on hard are so much fun. No, this is so intense. What happened to my chill little experience? But we managed to find a hidden lightsaber. Times have changed. Collected all enemy weapons in the game. Hey, this is the last weapon I need. I think. Do I have to get a kill with it? Nope. Aspirational goals. Located a speeder bike. Alright, advance to Hangar C. This is where the speeder bike should be in that level at least. And then I think that should be all the missable stuff. I'll double check after we get it though. There we go, here's the speeder bike. That model is a death trap. And snagged a kill with a walker. Ooh-hoo-hoo! Take offensive formations. Before the Prosecutor came to a close. All aboard! Oh, was that it? And all we had left was to finish Kashyyyk, and the Platinum Trophy was ours. Now, as I've said, the big bad boogeyman of Republic Commando is beating the game on hard, and I've got to be honest, most of the time, it really isn't that bad. You can get revived infinitely, your squad actually damages enemies. If you set your squad up correctly with cover and objectives, they rarely die. Seriously, outside of big tanks, waves and waves of infinitely spawning droidicas and super battle droids you need to take care of, or simply just getting unlucky and going down in an open area, this wasn't too bad a task. Where it really gets hard is when you go solo. No relying on your buddies for help, you need to pop in and out of cover, ration your ammo and grenades, take out enemies as quickly as possible, and even if you do all of that correctly, you may just cop a random rocket or get two-shot and back you go. I definitely had my moments with this campaign, but the Prosecutor is definitely the toughest campaign of the lot, as Kashyyyk just seemed to fly by in comparison. Yes, they have a lot harder enemies and some situations outright confuse me as to how I could even win at times, but with more cover, less turrets, more open areas, plus some beefy Wookiees to help in the fight, it went by so quickly. And with one final explosion, our time with Republic Commando had come to an end. I'm right, I can taste the frickin' platinum right now. But if you think I'm shooting down all these eggs and chipping away at this shit, you are mistaken. Reinforce the Wookiees on Kashyyyk. That should be it. Cadet. Lieutenant. Marshal Commander. And that oh so sweet platinum. One of the squad. What a game, man. What a game. So after 7 hours in total, that's 8 hours better than the guide, and my God Gamer status grows evermore. What did I think of Republic Commando's Platinum Trophy and the game in general? Let's start with the game itself. Republic Commando has always been a game I thought was a top tier Star Wars game, and that remains true to this day. It's not a perfect game, the AI has its moments, the shooting can at times feel like you're shooting nothing until something explodes, and some of the acts do drag more than others due to how little they vary the environment. But at its core, it makes the standard enemies of the prequels actually scary to face. It's a good challenge with solid team-based mechanics, and as someone who grew up with the prequels, it's just awesome to be a part of this badass clone trooper unit that feels like the step below the Jedi in the war against the Separatists. In terms of the Platinum Trophy, a lot of this journey is very natural to get while simply playing the game. Outside of the egg hatching and some missable collectibles, this is a pretty straightforward platinum to grab that offers a decent challenge that most people should be able to handle. I'm really glad I finally revisited this game after almost 20 years. Yikes, that makes me feel old. And I'm more than happy to add this game to my platinum collection. Give the game a go if you haven't, because this is some great Star Wars action that is very unique for the IP. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure if you did enjoy the video to leave it a like, because it helps let me know that you enjoyed yourself. Comment below some more games that you want to see get platinum next, as well as your favorite Star Wars game and platinum trophy. Thank you to all my channel members for that extra level of support, and special thanks to those in the Bear Club: Gene T. Puppy, Jackie White, Nugget, Darkwolf, Daniel Fitzgerald, Scott Unwin, Steel Vanguard, NPO Crusader, Zafado, and Marcel. It really does mean a lot to me. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, go give my socials a follow if you fancy at MayorHairBear, join the Discord server to have a chat, go and chuck me a follow on Twitch if you want to see some of these platinum journeys live, or MayorHairBear VODs if those pesky time zones don't line up for you, and I'll catch you all in the next video.